Justin Timberlake always had a natural star quality about him. He was one of the standout members of the mega successful boy band NSYNC. With his boyish good looks and undeniable vocal talent, he became a teen heartthrob. But before he became a teen heartthrob, he was a child star on Disney Channel's Mickey Mouse Club, a show that was the effective beginning for a lot of upcoming stars during that time period, including Ryan Gosling, Christina Aguilera, and Miss Britney Spears. Britney and Justin would later ensue a relationship, but the Mickey Mouse Club was their first encounter with each other, and it even led to an awkward love square, where Christina Aguilera had a crush on Justin Timberlake, Britney also had a crush on Justin Timberlake, and Ryan Gosling wanted Britney. Britney and Justin were smitten for each other even then, and developed crushes, which even resulted in a first kiss. After the show ended, Britney and Justin would soon brush shoulders again as they got older. Britney thought about joining a band called Innocence that was being put together by Justin Timberlake's mom, but Britney eventually decided against the decision to join a girl group, opting for a solo career. Fast forward to 1998, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake are two of the most popular singers in the world in their own right. Justin Timberlake is still a part of NSYNC, a boy band that becomes a cultural fascination, and of course Miss Britney Spears broke out with the classic Baby One More Time, which is the essential 90s teen pop song. Britney Spears eventually becomes an opening act for NSYNC on their tour, and they begin dating. They become the most famous power couple in a long time. This was purebred pop royalty, and the picture-perfect match made in heaven. America's teen pop goddess with one of America's teen pop kings. They were everywhere and a royal couple if you'd ever seen one. The media was completely obsessed with them. They even had nicknames for each other, Stinky and Pinky. They let their love be known and seemed to be genuinely happy with each other. Britney is quoted saying, "When people get too personal, it bothers me, but I'm not ashamed at all to say that I love him from the bottom of my heart. As far as love is concerned with him, too much is not enough. He's everything." You know you genuinely love someone when you wear matching outfits, but especially when that matching outfit is complete denim. An iconic look they rocked at the 2001 AMAs, and honestly sort of pulled it off. It's one of those pop culture moments that are iconic and eccentric, but make for a great fashion moment whether it received good press or not. After the denim moment, things would never be the same. In late 2002, the couple split, and the media went into absolute madness. The breakup occurred during Britney's third album cycle, and when Justin Timberlake was just approaching solo stardom. It was alleged that Britney had cheated on Justin with Wade Robson. Britney Spears and Justin would both exchange songs about their breakup, but Justin in particular played up his man done wrong narrative to promote his debut record. Justin Timberlake's first solo single, Like I Love You, failed to make any true lasting impact. Many would say his true debut as an artist is Cry Me a River, an R&B jam that would become one of his signature hits. The song is a classic and staple in 2000s pop music. Justin initially tried to tiptoe around the issue and claimed that the song wasn't about Britney Spears, and eventually confessed that it was, saying, "I was on a phone call that was not the most enjoyable phone call. I walked into the studio and he, Timberlake, could tell I was visibly angry." Timberlake, the producer of the song, states, "I was like, man, don't worry about it." And he was like, "I can't believe she did that to me." And he was like, "You were my sun, you were my earth." It had become inevitably clear that the song was about Britney, seeing that the music video featured a look-alike that portrayed her as a cheater. According to Britney, Justin actually called to get her approval for the music video, and she agreed to it. Then when it came out, Britney had different feelings, and she wished she didn't give him approval after seeing how she was portrayed. Justin Timberlake was quoted saying, "The breakup was absolutely heartbreaking for me. I can't just have meaningless relationships with women. I have to find Miss Right in order to have a relationship. There's got to be that big moment when she comes along." In 2002, Justin Timberlake would do an interview with Barbara Walters, where he said that something very bad happened between him and Britney. "I promised her I wouldn't specifically say why we broke up," he says, and then just proceeds to insinuate that she cheated on him. "We're not perfect," he said. "I don't judge anybody. It's just young love. It's just young love. It was a very intense relationship, that's for sure." He then is asked to play a song from his album Justified, and instead plays a song that didn't make the cut called Horrible Woman, which is obviously a song about Britney and further villainized her. Some of the lyrics read, "Thought our love was so strong, I guess I was dead wrong. but to look at it positively, hey girl, at least you gave me another song about a horrible woman. In Britney's Diane Sawyer interview, she was faithful to her commitment to Justin and didn't tell anyone what happened between them. I think everyone has a side of their story to make them feel a certain way, Britney said. I'm not technically saying he's wrong, but I'm not technically saying he's right either. She would eventually allow her single and video every time to speak for itself. It is the best ballad of her career, which is a heartbreak song about wanting to move on from a broken relationship, but it being difficult to do so. It features a stunning video in which Britney is embroiled in an intense relationship and is being hounded by paparazzi, and she even passes away in a bathtub. It is a beautiful song and video. Around this time, people became oddly obsessed with Britney Spears' virginity, and she admitted to losing it to Justin Timberlake. And she was slut-shamed for initially saying that she was going to try to wait to lose her virginity until marriage, which is idiotic. She was a young woman, and if she chose to change her mind about her virginity, that is her choice. Meanwhile, Justin Timberlake was going around in interviews bragging about taking her virginity, and even bragging about having oral sex with her. Britney said in her Diane Sawyer interview that she felt very exploited and weird after he went on shows and interviews revealing what they did in the bedroom. And still somehow, she remained the villain in this narrative, even after he essentially went on a press campaign being absolutely reckless. The drama and sympathy campaign would eventually pay off, and Justified became a global smash. In 2005, Britney Spears would infamously coin his album title as Pussyfied instead of Justified. But no, the success and usage of Britney during Justified wasn't enough. In 2006, 4 years after their breakup, when they both had different partners, he once again decided to play up this narrative. I'm assuming since it worked so well the first time, he decided to do it again. In an interview with GQ, Justin said, I felt like she had a couple of opportunities to just sort of stick up for me and she didn't, which is fine. But at that time, I fought back. And that's the way I fought back. I used my mind, I came up with the song. Meanwhile, he was the one dogging her out in the press and wasn't there for her when she was getting backlash. And this same narrative would coincide with another major controversy he would be involved in around this time. In 2006, he would release a sequel to Cry Me a River titled What Goes Around Comes Around, another jab at Britney, years later, while he was promoting his second album, Future Sex Love Sounds. The Britney drama is a little reminiscent of what would happen at the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, where Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson's nipple. Janet was blackballed and her career never quite recovered. Meanwhile, Justin was thriving, achieving hit after hit and winning one award after another. It is said to have been an accident from both parties. However, he is the person that exposed her nipple, so he could have been there for her more and actually defended her more. Instead, he just allowed her to get ripped to shreds in the media. And he only truly revisited the topic when in relation to the promotion of his album. And he even got to play the Super Bowl again. Meanwhile, Janet Jackson's legacy and career is just now experiencing a resurgence again. Justin reflected upon the Super Bowl incident in 2018 by saying, I stumbled through it. To be quite honest, I had my wires crossed. It's just something that you have to look back on and go, okay, you can't change what's happened, but you can move forward and learn from it. He also claims to have made peace with Janet. Britney Spears doesn't seem to be holding any grudges towards Justin Timberlake nowadays. The pop icon posted a video to her Instagram in which she could be seen dancing to Timberlake's 2018 single Filthy. I know we had one of the world's biggest breakups 20 years ago, but hey, the man is a genius, Britney wrote in an Instagram caption. Britney also stated in 2016 that she would love to collaborate with Justin Timberlake. She added that he's very good. Justin also responded by saying that he would be down to collaborate with her. Even though the things Justin did were questionable, they all have moved on. But I also think these particular situations are bigger than Justin Timberlake himself. I don't think these situations necessarily cause for an erasure of Justin Timberlake or his own artistic legacy. Justin Timberlake is a talented man with some classic songs and albums. What he did was absolutely in poor taste to both Janet and Britney, but the media that hounded both of those women tore them down and consistently placed Justin Timberlake on a fake victimhood pedestal even years after the initial drama is where the true problem lies. Apparently, Justin Timberlake is now perceived as the real-life villain, But if he is the real life villain, then the media that pushed this to happen is his creator. And that's not in any way, shape, or form to diminish his accountability, because he absolutely deserved to be held accountable, but the press was certainly the main character in the story, more than people might stop to realize. These women were victims and survivors of an unfair and misogynistic media. Not solely Justin Timberlake.